What if dying doesn't end an actor's career? Over the past few years, CGI and deepfake technology have cracked open this possibility.
You convinced the public wants to see dead actors?
I wouldn't call them dead actors, but I think they're icons of the past, reimagined in a new frontier.
Stars are being dragged back from the grave long after they're gone for movies they never signed up for.
Not gonna lie, I'm intrigued, and I'm not sure I should be.
But how far should we take these digital resurrections? Are they a heartfelt tribute to an actor's legacy, or a violation of it? Take the case of Peter Cushing, who played Grand Moff Tarkin in the original Star Wars.
Fear will keep the local systems in line.
Cushing died in 1994, yet 22 years after his death, he was brought back as Tarkin in the film Rogue One. The digital wizards at the Lucasfilm company, Industrial Light and Magic, achieved this by mapping his face onto actor Guy Henry.
I will tell him that his patience with your misadventures has been rewarded with a weapon that will bring a swift end to the rebellion.
Cushing's estate did approve of his digital appearance in Rogue One, and some impressive tech was used to make this happen. Yet, to many, it still felt off, like a ghost in the frame.
The original plans for this station are kept there, are they not?
In 2024, this digital casting decision caused some additional issues for Lucasfilm when a lawsuit was filed against the Disney-owned company, claiming Peter Cushing had made a deal with friend Kevin Francis, a deal that supposedly gave Francis control of Cushing's image after his death. Reports are that Lucasfilm is arguing the actor's original Star Wars contract covers his appearance in Rogue One. It's a legal showdown over a digital corpse.
Charm to the last.
But cases like this are opening a can of worms in Hollywood. Who really owns a face once its owner is gone? Now, before exploring that question, how did we even get to this point of recreating dead celebrities on the screen? An important moment in this CGI journey took place in 1985 with a stained glass knight leaping out of a window in the film Young Sherlock Holmes, one of the earliest examples of a fully computer-generated character in a feature film. Maybe it's a bit crude by today's standards, but the effect actually holds up pretty well, and it was definitely a groundbreaking moment. In 1991, Terminator 2's liquid metal cyborg, the T-1000, morphed seamlessly on screen, showing how CGI can be used to create a synthetic character.
Get out.
Then in the 2000s, the efforts from Andy Serkis as Gollum in Lord of the Rings took it up a notch, a CGI creation that rivaled on-screen performances from flesh and blood actors.
We survived because of me!
As time went on, the tech kept evolving. Soon, it wasn't just about building characters from scratch. It was de-aging living stars like Jeff Bridges in Tron Legacy, Robert De Niro in The Irishman, and Harrison Ford in the 5th Indiana Jones film.
The methodology used footage of me from 40 years ago that was in the vaults of Lucasfilm. It's very, very effective.
In these cases, CGI became a high-tech makeup kit, smoothing wrinkles and turning back time, all with the actors' blessing, of course, since they agreed to be in these films. But what happens with actors that have been gone for decades? How does the law handle these cinematic resurrections? Recreating a long-dead celebrity's face, likeness, or voice can get legally messy. Where the film's made, who controls the estate, and which laws apply all come into play. Generally, in the United States, these situations fall under right of publicity laws, which protect a person's identity or persona from being exploited commercially without permission. But here's the catch. These rights don't last forever. California, for example, has a law that extends these rights for 70 years after death, as long as the estate keeps them registered. Meanwhile, in New York, the right of publicity traditionally ended after death, until a 2020 law extended it to 40 years post-mortem, but only for folks who died after the law passed. An estate can also own a trademark on a celebrity's name or likeness, which is another hurdle for producers to clear, especially since a trademark can last indefinitely. On the flip side, if no one's managing the rights, you might legally be in the clear, though studios often tread carefully to avoid any surprise claims. Big-budget films often play it safe by getting permission from estates or paying for licenses. But even if all the T's are crossed and I's dotted, it doesn't guarantee success when the film's released. Take the use of Christopher Reeve's likeness as Superman in the 2023 film The Flash, which stirred up quite a bit of conversation. The movie features a sequence where the Flash briefly sees into an alternate universe featuring a CGI rendition of Reeve as Superman. This was a fully digital resurrection of Reeve, who passed away in 2004. As for who gave permission, that's where it takes some investigation. Reeve's children spoke out in January of 2024, saying they hadn't seen their father's cameo in The Flash.
Did you see The Flash, and what was your reaction to seeing his performance recreated on screen?
I didn't see it either.
No.
The kids' comments suggest they were out of the loop, which doesn't mean permission wasn't legally granted, it just means it didn't come from them. So who signed off on it? It's likely that Warner Brothers, the studio behind the film, went through Reeve's estate, which could have included executors or trustees managing his rights. Now, this appearance was short and silent, but there are companies looking to push this technology even further by not just using celebrities of the past in short cameos, but going all the way to leading roles.
I am involved! We are all involved!
Dead since 1955 at the age of 24, James Dean became a rebel icon after starring in just 3 films. In 2019, Finding Jack, a Vietnam War movie, planned to resurrect him for a brand new role. Even though Dean's estate agreed to the project, the plan hit a wall, with the film never making it to screens. The idea was widely slammed as creepy and disrespectful, crossing a line from tribute to gimmick. But that didn't stop efforts in bringing James Dean back to the screen in another project, Back to Eden. Worldwide XR, an immersive media company, has been developing this latest project for the digitally resurrected Dean. Travis Cloyd, Worldwide XR CEO, has been the main voice pushing the project, billing it as a showcase for cutting-edge AI and CGI technology.
It's been the desire on behalf of the family to extend the legacy of James Dean, inspire future generations, essentially.
But without much for updates since 2023, it's starting to feel like vaporware. It's not just Hollywood and visual media companies looking to make use of this kind of technology. In 2024, 11 Labs, a major speech synthesis company, struck deals with the estates of legends like Judy Garland and Burt Reynolds, letting users listen to articles and books read by AI voices from these iconic stars.
And now I will tell how it came about that Robin Hood fell afoul of the law.
Now, with all the technological progress that's been made to bring actors back, there's a big question to ask here. Should this even be a part of filmmaking? Now, in taking another look at the work that went into recreating Grand Moff Tarkin, it ultimately doesn't satisfy for film acting, looking more like something that would fit in well in a video game, but for a movie, not so much. The decision makers for The Flash were wise to keep Christopher Reeve silent as Superman, but still, the visual effects were widely panned as lifeless, simply trying to give a quick emotional stir for the audience, and making the superhero come across more as a prop. This tech can dazzle and create some buzz for a film, and stars have embraced the technology, at least when it comes to making them look younger in films they've signed up for.
What I'm excited about is now there's a completely digital 23-year-old version of myself that I can make movies with now.
But a number of stars are pushing back against this digital trend, especially when it comes to using it after they die. Deepfakes can have their fun moments when used for parody and satire, or to swap out faces in famous films, like putting Jerry Seinfeld in Pulp Fiction or Jim Carrey in The Shining. But when trying to recreate fully realistic people for new film or television projects, something just doesn't seem right. The computer-generated performances in actual movies are missing that indefinable spark, coming across as a soulless trick. So is this worth it, to try and make this tech flawless, to perfect every smirk, every tear, giving us the possibility of seeing Humphrey Bogart in a noir detective film he never got to make, or Marilyn Monroe in a modern rom-com? Or will this just lock people into a twisted past, into a form of arrested development that trades a human soul for pixel-perfect nostalgia?
This is sort of where I'm stuck on AI humans, is that you're not getting the essence of who he actually was. You don't have the thoughts that were going through his head then.
And is this rush in resurrecting dead celebrities just another leash on the star system? A slick workaround for studios looking to dodge a demanding actor who might push back? AI and CGI could be a way for entertainment giants to bypass contract disputes, egos, or salary hikes, owning a compliant, eternal cast that never says no. Maybe we should just revisit the stars of the past by watching the films they did make, what living, breathing actors were able to achieve in their own day, and exploring the human condition. and then put a focus on making new and fresh films that can hopefully be just as fondly remembered.
I have to tell you, it's scary and exciting.
Whether or not the movie studios will come to see it this way, well, only time will tell.